This is one of the most unique new construction areas in all of South Florida. If you want city living, new construction, off the right near the water, no HOA, stay tuned for the newest community here in Palm Beach called The Estates at Nomar. My name is Ray Fernandez. I'm with Living in Palm Beach, Florida, powered by eXp Luxury Homes, and welcome to Nomar. So this is one of their more popular models. It's the Sardinia. It's not the cheapest, it's not the most expensive, but it's the most popular. Let's check it out. So the setup here is, that's their sales office. So you have to, So you have to bear in mind, that's going to be the garage. Don't walk into that sales center on your own. More on that later. This is the kitchen. If this model looks familiar to you, I've done this model before. This is the Lynx over at Apex. They do a good job with the outsides. Look at the pool area. I got to talk about the pools a little bit more later. They've got some really neat pool packages here. This is a really unique area. I'm going to go upstairs. This is a really unique area, and the models are changed a little bit. But this home is 4 bedrooms, 4.5 baths with a loft. We're going to go upstairs right now and we'll look at that loft. So this is going to be sort of like a second family room, second family room, the loft. They're showing it here with books, but oftentimes I see people utilize this as a TV area, especially if you have kids. And if you go out here, you can see we are in a city. I mean, this is really, that's the big condo right near your door. This is really in a unique area. They've never done this before. I'll tell you more about the history of this area, but over time. But let's go here. This looks a little bit different. We'll check this out. I think they tweaked the Lynx model at Apex to produce this. I like the fact that it's got a really nice shower. This is the master. Really nice shower, tub. Leave a comment down below. What do you feel about tubs? People, I find, love them or hate them. The vanities, 2 separate vanities. Here is your master closet. Generous. And here it is for the guys. As always, a little bit smaller. Now I'm coming into the master bedroom. And I can tell why this is a popular model. I mentioned 4 bedrooms, 4.5 baths with a loft. You're 52 square feet under air. Generally speaking, you're finding that like the really ultra big houses that you get in the Lotus Edges and the Apexes, you're not going to have here. The biggest home here is a Tahiti, and I'm saving that one for last. That is my favorite, and I'll tell you then what it really is. But let's look at the rest of the house. So as I come out the master is set up a little bit differently. You have like a half bath, which is good. I like the way this works. This way you don't have people, and oftentimes on the second floor, you have people trouncing through someone's bathroom. You do not want that. Nice hallway here. Then we come into this side. And the other nice thing about this is look at you get a nice patio out front. You didn't get that on the Lynx model. I'm not sure they're gonna let me out. No, they locked me out. So, but you can see we're across the street from a school. This whole community is gonna be 97 homes when all is said and done. They've been developing the neighborhood for about 20, 25 years now. Here's your other secondary bedroom. It's got a nice sized loft. I mean, for city living, like we're in the middle of downtown West Palm Beach. This is a big house for what you have in the area here. Generous laundry room. One thing I will say about the way this model shows is it cheats you a little bit because the sales office is in the garage, and it's sort of like that first floor is not as, the living space is not as, elaborate as it would normally be because it's taken up. So you want to look at the floor plans. If you want to see this as see the floor plan for this, email us, call us, text us, whatever, and we'll send it to you. So they have one model here. I'm going to see if I can get in it later. Just to briefly show you. It's called the Mykonos, where you have your standard features. Look at this, Sub-Zero. They use Sub-Zero, and they use Wolf appliances. So high-end, they use high-end things. They have GE, so you can get GE or Wolf, but depends on your model too. So reach out to us if you want to know more about that. By the way, this is such for all those people that say, I want to be near the beach, I want to be close to where things are happening, and because a lot of new construction is more west. This is a community that solves that problem. So before I go and go to the next one, the Sardinia, $2,475,000. That's the price. They just opened this community, and so as I always say, early is the best pricing. See, here we are on Model Row. There's the Sardinia, and over there is their sales center. If you walk into that sales center on your own, you are absolutely crazy. We highly recommend independent representation. Independent representation means we need to be with you on your very first visit. The cost to using people like us here at Living in Palm Beach, Florida, is zero out of your pocket. It's the builder that pays us, and they're happy to do so. You can ask them. We'll be there from start to finish, from that first visit all the way through closing. And in between, if you have questions about inspections or anything else, use us as your resource and as your partner in buying your new construction home, whether it's here in Nomar or any other new construction community in and around South Florida. Just to give you an idea of what it's like walking around here in this neighborhood, this is the Icon tall, tower here. It's rentals. But along here, they're building a bunch of condos, and also down West Palm Beach in general is doing a lot of buildings, lots of new condos. In general, the maintenance fees are higher on those places, but reach out. We do both in single family home, condos, townhouses, and stuff like this. But it's good to know. It's great to see this community really come alive. So I am in that Mykonos. I was able to sneak in. I wasn't able to get in here earlier. This is where they show all the standard features. So this is good to look at. So this island, standard. Appliances, GE. One of the models, they're gonna be swapping these things out, but they use a GE double oven microwave combo. But here, you've got a Sub-Zero. So you can use GE or you can go to a Sub-Zero. I think the backyards here are great. Look at the they have a cold plunge therapy there and a sauna there. They do a great job. You wouldn't know, it's like your tropical oasis here. You would not know you're in the middle of downtown West Palm Beach. So this Mykonos, I'll briefly take you this way. Let's go into this is the master here. Just to give you an idea, his and hers. So you're a little bit smaller in this model. And here's your master. So you're looking at 3 bedrooms, 3.5 bath, a den and a loft. It's 2,620 square feet under air. I wanted to take you here because everything in here is standard. So I'm looking at the countertop. That GE is standard. The flooring is standard. They use this, a home like this, because they know people who say, well, I don't know what's an upgrade and what's not. This is how you know. You come into this model. By the way, they have, I think I counted seven different models, 4 floor plans here. So they don't have everything. But the smallest one is called the Amalfi. And I want to tell you about that. The Amalfi is their entry level. It's roughly $1.8 million to get in. That's your entry here into Nomar. Nomar is near Northwood Village. And it's like an up and coming area over the last, let's say 10, 15, maybe 20 years. There is a lot of, it's sort of like, if you're New Yorkers, sort of like Greenwich Village way back when, or even East Village, that has really come back quite a bit. That's what this is about. A lot of artistic things, restaurants. The Amalfi is, like I said, 1.8. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and it's a total of just under 1,900 square feet under air. 20 years ago, my family and I relocated to this beautiful part of the world we call sunny South Florida, and we haven't looked back. Today, we truly find an honor to help people, perhaps like you, do the exact same thing. So if you're thinking about considering and looking at this area, and you want to ask questions from people who have actually done it before, well, there's a few ways to get a hold of us. Down below is our email address. That's one great way. Also on the screen, you see our phone number. You can either call or text that number. But literally 2 of the best ways is in the description and the comment section. There's a link. Click on that link. What that'll do is have some time for us to speak, either through a phone call or through a Zoom, whatever way you feel most comfortable. In any case, we have your back when it comes to relocating here to sunny South Florida. So where in the world is the Estates at Nomar? So as we look at just north of the center part of downtown, you can see here we have the Estates at Nomar. And as you could also see, they have this big marina. Over here is a really nice restaurant, La Marina Restaurant. You're going to love this place. I went to this place for the first time about a month or so ago. I really like it. You can see this Icon Marina. That's where the luxury apartments are. You have Alba, which is a new condominium in just up the street, and the Apogee, which is right there. So this area is growing. As I zoom out a little bit, you can see where it is relative to the rest of West Palm Beach. As you can see, it's just north of downtown West Palm Beach and pretty close to pretty much everything, Northwood Gardens, close to the Palm Beach Island. It's pretty much close to everything. If you want to research the area, this is the best website to look at anything. It's livinginpalmbeachfl.com. Great way. So you go to the communities tab for all the different communities, and the best way to search everything in the area. Again, the website is livinginpalmbeachfl.com. The other thing I like about this home is this. In the front, this is a great office. Right off the entrance, here I'm walking in, and here is the office. This fits well. Let's go outside. I want to show you the 2 biggest homes they have here. The last one is my favorite. Let's go see. Let's go out on Model Row and check out the rest of Nomar here in downtown West Palm Beach, Florida. Just to show you, that's the Mykonos. They actually use it, so they cut out some of the home for their design center. So what they do is once you buy a house and you put your deposit back, put your deposit down, about 40 days afterwards, you'll be coming here to the design center to pick out your options. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it. It's one of the most fun times when you're building a new home here in Nomar, or any new construction community here in South Florida area. So as I continue down, Restaurant Row, Model Row. I was here the other day, by the way. They just opened this community literally a week ago, not even. And this place was mobbed. They had 300 people the very first day. This one is their second biggest. It's the Seychelles. It's 4 bedroom, 5 bath, a den, and a great room. It's 3,870 square feet. So for this area, this is a really big house. All right, so here, living in Palm Beach, Florida, we talk about the pros and the cons. And I'll give you a pro and a con here right now. The ceilings are not as high as I would like. This is not a model that they have in other places, but it's really elegant. Fits metropolitan, city living. This is a big pro in my book. This is like a den or an office. And they show it with a baby grand piano, which just puts a little bit more, a touch of elegance in the whole area. Also, you have here in the front, which could also be used as an office. Actually, this is probably more practical to use as an office. This home is 3,252 square feet under air and a total of 4,270 square feet. The backyards look great. They even have a little area where you have your little gun safe here. I like that. And they have a full bath right here. So that you could use this as a bedroom that uses that bath. That's definitely a possibility. The living space is what really strikes me. I love the way you have the sliders, 4-panel sliders here, and the window here. And look at the outdoor kitchen. If you can see that well, they decorated this nice. Again, if you are sitting here, looking out your yard, you would never guess that you're in the middle of a downtown metropolitan area. Well, if you haven't seen it, look over here. This is our video on the pros and cons of living in downtown in West Palm Beach. It's the biggest city in Palm Beach. It's right off the island. The other thing about this community that's a big draw, because we hear this stuff from you guys, there's no HOA here. But let me give you a couple of other things that make this unique. No HOA, we hear that a lot. I want something with a no HOA. You are allowed to buy 2 homes here. They will let you do that. In lots of communities, in lots of GL homes, that's the builder, they will only let you buy 1. They want to sort of discourage investment. But here they allow you it because this is probably going to be, if you want to be a bit of an investor, this area is ripe for investors. Investors reach out to us. Melissa on my team, she helps me with a lot of those because she's got an Airbnb and rental and basically investor extensive experience, and we work together as a team on that. But a couple more things. It's Norwood, it's northern, marina. We have the marina right down the street. The condos in the area go for a lot of money. I have it written down here somewhere in my mess, but this is an area that's been developing all around the marina and all around Northwood. Another thing, natural gas. You can't get that in a lot of places around here. You can get that here if you like to cook using your Wolf. Well, actually, this is a G. They're swapping out he told me that they're swapping out the GE for the Wolf here. This is a community you can do it. Do you know Wolf always pairs with Sub-Zero? Whenever you see a Sub-Zero, generally speaking, you see a Wolf. Let's go check out the rest of this home. They have a nice loft. Again, people use this as a family area, and this is exactly how they are portraying it here. Here, let me see. Do you have a little telescope set up here? This is, let me show you in the background here. Can you see those? I'm going to turn the camera around. Maybe that'd be better. Those are your high-end luxury condos. You can see the skyline is building up here. Downtown West Palm Beach, again, look at that video, pros and cons of West Palm Beach. I go through City Place. clematis. Downtown West Palm Beach there's a lot of money going there. It's now the Wall Street South, they're calling it. Harry's is there, you know, the restaurant. JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, all the banking is coming into there. Stephen Ross, the owner of the Miami Dolphins, he owns Related Company. They've been taking over that area, and they've been, you know, building it like crazy. That place looks so much. If you haven't been to downtown West Palm Beach in even 2 years, you'll be shocked at the changes that we're seeing here. One thing I noticed that they've done here in this community that GL doesn't always do is they have look, this is open actually. You have your patio here. You know, you could sit out here and have coffee in the morning. They have a front patio, which I think is good. Like in a lot of their communities where they don't really have that many homes that have porches, I find. So this is the alternative. This is the master closet, big shower. So this home is 3,870 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. So now we're getting up there, and you got a display. This is really a closet, but they're showing you what you can do with it here. Here's a secondary bath. You know, it's a secondary bedroom, generous bathroom, closet. Over here's another secondary bedroom. And look at this. I like the way they have this set up. This is a full ensuite, and they show it for like kids. A little desk area down here, and loft up there. So perfect if you have kids. I will say this room originally threw me. This is actually the master. It's not the biggest master in the world. That's why. But you can, once you corner it here, turn the corner, you can see it is the master. But again, I know what you're wondering. What is the price of this home? This is $2,700,000. And what's not to like to have a marina literally right down the street from where you are? Look at the boats there. These are high-end luxury yachts. Over there is Palm Beach Island. You're really close to the to Palm Beach, the ocean. You're really close to City Place, which has seen an enormous growth in recent years. This area, this community is near it all. So now I'm going to head out into the biggest one. This is the one I've been waiting for. It's waiting to show you. It's called the Tahiti. One thing I want to say is and reach out to us. We're going to do a lot more videos on this thing as the place progresses. But Broadway's over there. They're going to be building townhouses probably 2 years out down there. Broadway is like the main street through the north going, I think it's, north-south coming through the area. They're building townhouses there. This is basically 40th Street up to 45th Street. They have 97 homes that they're purchasing. The lot procedure is a little bit different. There are some homeowners that own here. They try to buy out and they wouldn't sell to them. So we have a few scattered little areas, pockets where homes are empty, but for the most part they own it. This is a project between GL Homes and Wayne Huizenga. So this area is being transformed since 2005. I spoke to Wayne Huizenga Jr. His father passed. When they did a broker opening probably about 2 weeks ago now, and he told me the whole story about how he started buying land and developing things here. And since 2005, there's a very strong historical society here. So if you buy a house in this area, you can't just tear it down and start fresh. You have to keep the bones of what's there. And a lot of people have done that. You see a lot of people come here, buy homes, and throw millions of dollars into them. And it looks like they just 100% transform. I really welcome you to come here and take a look. This is one of the most unique, one of the most artistic, one of my favorite areas to explore when you're here in Palm Beach, and specifically downtown West Palm Beach. All right, so I'm going to walk in here now. After I walk in, you tell me if this home looks familiar. For those who follow the channel, especially the Avenir models, you might recognize it, but I'll tell you what it is once we get inside. So does this home look familiar to you? By the way, if you haven't already, hit that like button. I want to get more people to learn about this area, to learn about this community. Love to see if you can hit that like button, get more people in this to watch this video. This is the Polaris in Apex. Nice high ceilings. This is why I think this home is going to sell well here. Yes, it's their most expensive, but this is the almost identical to the Polaris at Apex in Avenir in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. And this is going to be like one of the highest ceilings or entrances, dramatic entrance that you'll see in downtown West Palm Beach. Offices, as soon as you walk through the door here, this is my back to the door, you have an office here. This home is a 4-bedroom, 5-bath, has a den, has a loft. They're using this here as a nice, pretty big, formal dining here. It comes right into the kitchen here, where you have like a little bit of sort of like a butler's pantry type thing. They are using your Sub-Zero, and they are using your Wolf stove. Wolf. And they've got the double oven going here. Double oven with the microwave combo. You can do all kinds of things, by the way, just because it shows ways. Lots of times people say, well, I want 2 ovens. You could do that. They just happen to show it often with the microwave double oven combo. I've seen lots of houses that GL's built that will be double ovens, which I would do personally. I think when I redo my kitchen, I think that's where the direction we are going to go in. Obviously, we talked to my wife and discussed it, but that's what we're thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Here's your pantry. People love or hate these kind of pantries. It's not like a single pantry walk-in. It's right off the door. But one thing I also want to point out is look at the cabinetry goes to the ceiling. So that's typically an upgrade with most builders, but it's elegant. Also, look at the color of the cabinetry. Again, one of those things that people love or people hate, but I like it. It's like an espresso color. Here you have, I'm just look at the island. Island is big. It's not just big, it's wide. You got some real substance here. Right off here, you have a little dining area too. So you can fit, they show 5, then you can fit your table there and a dining room. There's no shortage of places to eat here at Tahiti in Nomar in downtown West Palm Beach, Florida. So here is a good example of what you can do with your pool. I love this thing. They have pool packages that are specific to the model. This gives me a good idea for like if when I buy, thinking about looking at a house in an area away from Palm Beach, and I'm thinking about, and I don't want a big elaborate pool, but I want something that shows well and has like a small pool with a spa. That is it. I love that. And come around here, you have a cabana bath. So you go into the pool, your spa, and you come inside, you don't have to, you don't want to track the stuff in the house. Here's your family area. This is where you'll probably spend most of a lot of your time. So I know why the Tahiti is good. I think this is going to be a good seller. Here's the issue, though. It's a little bit higher priced, so you have to be able to afford it. This home is $2,775,000. By the way, as I mentioned, you can expect, once they start selling, you can expect price increases. That's how this builder works. So all builders work. They sold, at the 97 homes, they sold 7 in the first weekend. So obviously, it seems like this neighborhood has caught people's attention. We've been talking about it. It's the first time we've actually filmed it. We couldn't get in here to film, unfortunately. But now we are, and we'll be back. Trust me. So I'm going to take this upstairs. But you can buy. So the way it works, and we got to take upstairs because this is the loft area. The way they set this up is really unique. Again, this is like the Polaris over at Apex, and I've seen this house modeled a million times. When you buy your lots, it's like they're relatively low. They're like 10 to 40,000 right now. That might go up. Trust me. In fact, that will go up. I'm pretty sure. The process is a little bit different than their other communities. Because they're working, again, the GL's working with Wayne Huizinga Jr., and they have to release the lot. They only have certain, they didn't release everything. They only have certain lots released right now. But so if you want to get on the best pricing, the ones they have available now are going to be your best. Here is the loft. Again, it's not like at the top of the stairs per se, it's a little bit off. Pretty big, right? Once you come this way, I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to show you the master. Master's right off the loft that way. One thing I can definitely say is they built this for the city. So this Polaris looks like city living to me, as opposed to like their stuff in Lotus Edge in Boca Raton, in Western Boca Raton, or in Apex, which is in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. This is built differently. Even though the homes are similar, they're not exactly the same. It's built as if you live in the middle of the city, and after all, you do. So are there incentives? You guys are always asking for incentives. Really, one of the biggest incentives is to buy early. I always tell people that. Don't get caught up in what kind of discount. Get in when the prices are right. But the answer is yes. There are incentives. It's 20,000 currently. Don't know if that's going to last by the time you see this, by the time this video airs, but there are some incentives. Let us help you in knowing, we know these new construction communities. We are a new home co-broker with eXp Luxury. We know these new construction communities well. We can help compare and contrast them for you. And oftentimes the ones that have the biggest incentives aren't always the best deals. Sometimes there's a reason for the incentives. Up in one of their other communities, they've raised prices in January and again in February. And so the incentive is to buy in December. You would have saved yourself about $50,000 by doing that. So that's sort of how that works. Again, this is a unique community. It's got no HOA. The rental process. I said you can buy two homes. The rental process is you can lease right away, which is not always the case in some of these communities. But the minimum lease right now is 7 months. In 2 years, everything's off the table. So there's some really good, not just for living for living enjoyment. There's also possibility for some one of you to think about this. If you want to do a longer term investment to a high end client, this would be a place I would think would be worth looking at. Nomar, West Palm Beach, paradise here in South Florida.